Embedded in nearly 50 cities across Georgia are places where people gather to be supported with love and connection, a pathway to support their journey from addiction to recovery, all under the careful, compassionate leadership of the Georgia Council for Recovery. Through it, people and communities are transformed, and it all starts here.
We are headed to Eglinton Drive to pick up Miss Sabrina Peaky.
On the streets of Warner Robins, Tim Berry drives a van, using his own experience to pave the way for someone else.
I love helping people. I mean, that's really my heart is. I come from a 38 years of hardcore addiction, from heroin, meth, roxycodone, just more. And I lost a lot of friends. I've been with iHope for 3 years and I've absolutely loved every minute of it. I love getting to serve our peers. I love the fellowship. I love the fact that, you know, I go get to watch people go from hurting to healing. Good morning, Mr. Charlie.
Good morning, Mr. Tim.
You doing all right?
Yeah.
As a certified peer specialist, Tim navigates the roads and the conversations along the way.
You excited to start this new cycle of making peace with your past?
Yeah. Sometimes that past come back on you. If you don't work with it, deal with it now. I had to learn how to deal with my past.
Okay. Being able to transport them, a lot of times I do get the opportunity to open a rapport with them, to get them talking, to support them right where they're at.
He drives the van for iHope, a recovery community organization, or RCO for short. Teresa Stewart is the CEO.
A RCO is a peer-led, peer-ran, peer-driven organization. It is an organization that utilizes lived experience as its primary focus to helping our people in our community. I am a founder and CEO of iHope, and I'm also a woman in recovery, right? 23 years. I still need to be supported.
She started the RCO by asking questions.
We asked them what would help transitioning from their therapeutic environment back into their natural community. And transportation always rose to the top of the list.
Their first van came as a donation from a local church.
You know, we're in rural area Bible Belt, and he allowed us to use his vehicle. As we contributed to the wear and tear of that, he purchased the church a newer van and allowed us to continue to use that until we was able to purchase our own.
Now they have 5 vehicles that take people everywhere from job interviews to the grocery store. Tina goes to the medically assisted treatment clinic next door to iHope.
They started picking me up and they took me every day.
Inside the van, her story pours out.
I was in a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom, $300,000 home by myself. No car, just my cat. I was literally one day away from walking away from that house with a cat. Nowhere to go. And Tim come got me. They would take me to the grocery store. They would see that I didn't do without. They saved my life. They saved my life.
Finding recovery sometimes starts as a court mandate. Lamario Harris says more people now report to their required treatment thanks to iHope.
A lot of people, I feel like y'all are setting me up for failure because you know I don't have transportation. Well, you do have transportation. Do? Yes. Here's a number to call. Call them and they'll get everything set up with you, and free of charge. You don't have to pay them. It brings me great joy when I can look at my office window and I can see 6, 7 participants getting out of a van to come into my program. And I can see that same van is waiting on them after they get off, leave, to take them to where they need to be. You can't beat that.
Tim, it's time to take us home.
Yes, ma'am.
The ride home, a full circle journey to a destination to be proud of.
They finally showed me what it is to hang around people that I want to be like. And I did. I have been clean for a year and a half. And that's an accomplishment.
Yes,
It is huge.
We're gonna go the extra mile only because we know the depths of that pain. And that's so empowering. It's so validating. And that's enough for just one more day for a person, right? Just one more day. And then they come back and then we need to do it again and we do it again.
Come on, Miss Tan.
I love you, Tim.
You too, Miss Tan. You have a good day, man.
On the west side of Atlanta, nestled in a colorful loft, is the home of Rise, a creative sanctuary where people find their recovery through the arts.
I started drumming, I think I might have been about 3 years sober, and I got my first drum. It lowers your blood pressure, it lowers anxiety, it creates community. It creates a platform and a space for your voice to be heard through rhythm. And rhythm has always been a part of my recovery.
Alexia Jones hit her turning point when she listened to another rhythm of life for the first time.
I heard my daughter's heartbeat, and it changed the course of my life. Did I get up off of that table sober? No. But it was the beginning of the end of the era of addiction for my life. I believe in the sacred rhythms of life.
Since then, Alexia has maintained a steady beat of recovery and now leads West Atlanta's RCO.
The opposite of addiction is connection. So connection has to be an ongoing rhythm in life.
Recovery looks different for everyone. For Joe Jackson, it's not about the drums or the paintings on the wall.
I have no talent with actual physical visual art. So I don't play instruments, but I focus upon the talent of what I have. And that's poetry, and I write skits. So like I say, I use the world around me as a canvas. You will sit down, listen to a song, captivated.
As a peer coach, Joe is trained to use his lived experience with addiction to help empower someone else out of theirs. The Georgia Council for Recovery is responsible for certifying recovery peer coaches. Every year, they hold several week-long trainings to give peers the tools to take the gift of recovery and pass it on to others. As the executive director, Larissa Guerrero is like her peers, living in active recovery.
To me, that means that it's been 10 years since I've used any drugs or alcohol to change the way that I feel. The beginning of my recovery was primarily 12-step, and there were certain people that I was gravitating towards. And it wasn't people with a bunch of letters after their names. It was people that looked at me and said, hey, I got out. Like, you can do this too. And I mean, we all need somewhere, anybody, whether they're in recovery with a substance use disorder, mental health, cancer, diabetes, no matter what it is, we're all humans and we just need a place to feel connected and feel a sense of purpose.
Once they're trained, the peers go work in treatment centers or hospitals or prisons or schools or many times RCOs. Each RCO is independently run, many with funding from the state, but all with the support of their community. Each one reflects the community it serves, all with the goal of speaking recovery out loud.
We don't have the choice to be anonymous anymore. If we don't speak up, if we don't do something, nothing's going to change.
At Rise, they've seen the change.
You know, addiction hits the whole family, whether the whole family uses or not. But recovery hits the whole family as well.
There's perhaps no better proof than when families also walk through the door and add to the beautiful chaos.
That's why I try to encourage women who come into recovery and they're pregnant and they're feeling hopeless. It's like, honey, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better.
Nearly 200 miles south, working the land is as rooted in the culture as the Vidalia onions that grow from the ground in Lyons.
So Toombs County was, really built off of these onions. These are the Vidalia onions. It's little baby ones right now. Harvest time's in April, but it is definitely what has helped this community not only just survive, but to thrive as a rural community of Georgia. Farm communities are made up of hard-working men and women, and this community has worked together to develop systems and procedures that really help feed one another.
Just a couple miles away from the rows and rows of farmland, sitting right in the middle of town, is a different kind of garden, one that feeds hope to the soul.
Gardens of Hope is Toombs County's Addiction Recovery Support Center. We're a recovery community organization, and we provide peer support to individuals seeking recovery resources in our community.
Every day, people come here to gather for a meeting or to get help with their next step.
We work with a lot of people who, like us, we're people who have been broken. We are people that have been feeling lost. And so they get to come somewhere where they feel heard, where they feel a little less lost, where they feel that someone will stand by them in the hardest moments of their life.
Amy Cruz watched her son battle and overcome addiction without the help of a place like this. Now it's her job to plant seeds that build connections beyond these walls.
We help peers who are looking for employment, and so we help them find identification, if they need birth certificate, do they need a social security card. We make sure they have their documents ready. We have so many of our peers that not only have employment, but they have employment with the city, they have benefits. You know, I mean, like that's mind-blowing, you know. They're coming to meetings and they just need a chance. They need an opportunity for someone to give them to be able to provide for themselves, provide for the families.
It's the type of chance these men hope to get out of the Toombs County Jail. Every week they meet with Jimbo, who's been where they are, to make a reentry plan.
That way they actually have a detailed plan of what they're going to do instead of just like getting out and winging it. I too am a person in long-term recovery, but I'm also a returning citizen from the judicial system.
The Toombs County Sheriff partnered with Gardens of Hope to allow forensic peer coaches to mentor people inside the jail.
Just locking them up and saying, you know, punishment, it's not fixing anything. We've been doing it for years, and drug addiction's just growing.
He's seen the change it's made from the inside.
There's things now that we have in place that work. We have fruits of that work, a lot of fruit of that work. And I now see these people, you know, going to church with me, their wives sitting beside them, their kids sitting beside them. And they were in my jail for a long time, off and on, and they were one of those people that I thought that would never change. And I'm giving them a hug on Sunday or wherever I see them at, because I'm thankful. I'm so thankful to see the change in their life, because I see a happy person, I see a happy family, and it's infectious, it spreads.
Yeah, you never had a rutabaga?
I have not.
Me neither.
Whoa. Man, they're delicious now.
This is also a happy family, nurturing the community garden outside of their new location, the same way they care for each other.
And it's just, it's rewarding. It's rewarding. And it's the same way that this is going to be rewarding when we have, you know, collard greens to eat later on.
Planting seeds of hope for a future they'll forge into together.
You know, this is the only thing that holds us together, and it's this community, it's this network, it's us, you know, being together, because, you know, as you may have heard, it's like connection is the opposite of addiction. So, you know, that connection is something that we, you know, it's a must in a lot of our lives.
The opposite of addiction, spreading through Georgia like an antidote, all thanks to recovery community organizations.